You're listening to Fountain of Thought with your hosts, Dennis Fountain and Sunny Rain. One small step for man, one giant leap for America.
This show contains adult themes and language. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, everyone, to the Fountain of Thought podcast, broadcasting from the Eric's Memorial Studios. This is the podcast where we talk about anything and everything. Leave us a voicemail on our listener line at 413-612-8037. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at TalkFOT, or visit our website at fountainofthat.com. Good day, Sunny Rain.
Thank you. My eardrums appreciated that.
You're welcome. Anything I could do for you.
Yeah, I know.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm so sick of the winter. How did we go from 70 degrees to 30 degrees? I mean,
74 degrees, convertible was out, top was down, beautiful day, and then snow the next day.
Yeah, T-shirt, walking around, and then all of a sudden next day it's miserable.
Gotta love New England, right? You just gotta love New England.
Stand around long enough and watch the weather change. Well, anyway, before we get into it, I got a quick little trivia question for you.
Okay.
If you can tell me, if you can answer this question, I'll give you $100.
Okay.
Okay. Which James Bond movie did this opening theme come from?
Living Daylights.
Oh, you were so that close. The other Timothy Dalton.
Oh, was it?
License to Kill.
Yeah, I was debating one or the other, but
that's pretty good though. I didn't think you'd even come close to it.
Yeah.
I thought you would have gone with something with Pierce Brosnan.
Do I get 50?
No. I'll buy you an egg roll and watch you rub your little fingers together.
Egg roll tastes good. Oh, number 7 lunch special.
You know, that's racist.
Why?
Because you're making fun of the Chinese.
I'm not making fun of them.
Yes, you are.
I'm just making fun of the way they talk.
Well, that's... All right, well, what are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about TV and toys, two of the best things that we love, TV and toys. Come on.
The only toy I like is the one in my pants.
You told me you don't like it anymore.
Well, I'm mad at it.
All right,
it's ignoring me.
So we've talked about previously these TV shows that are reboots, you know, and they've got the same cast of characters, and it's just everything is reboot.
Yeah,
reboot.
SWAT,
no
MacGyver,
original,
Hawaii Five-0,
Roseanne, down the line, everything.
Oh yeah, but Roseanne, that's different. They actually pulled the entire original cast.
Well, that's what I mean. They did that with a bunch of shows: X-Files, Roseanne.
There was a couple.
Will and Grace, Murphy Brown. They're all of them. They're just it's a continuation, and there's nothing original. But there are some what they call them reboots or reimaginations that are coming out, and I don't want to dwell on it forever because everyone tells me that I'm wrong. I think I'm right, and you know how that goes. So there are some reboots that I want to talk about, and I want your opinion on them because I think you and I agree on this same point, but I can't get anyone else to agree with me. All right, well, first off, they're making a new Miami Vice.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
New Miami Vice. It's uncast as of yet, but Vin Diesel is the executive producer. So who knows what that's going to be. They're making a live action, are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Of the Jetsons.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Robert Zemeckis from Back to the Future.
Well, that might be all right.
Yeah, he's going to be the executive producer. It's going to be a live-action reboot of the classic animated sci-fi series. The Jetsons is going to air on ABC, and it's going to be filmed before a live audience. So the question is, how are they going to possibly pull this off with special effects and sci-fi and stuff? And they say, don't worry about it. That the kind of visual effects you'd expect from a sci-fi property will be happening.
Well, they'll probably do it in post-production is what they'll have to do.
I guess.
They'll probably just have to film it in front of a blue screen or a green screen. And
so that's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not sure about that one. Half-hour Jetsons, I don't know. The Munsters.
They're bringing that back too?
Yeah. Inspired by the original series, the half-hour comedy follows the members of an offbeat family who are determined to stay true to themselves but struggle to fit into hipster Brooklyn, New York. The original was filmed at a, quote, 1313 Mockingbird Lane address in the city of Mockingbird Heights, which was a fictional suburb in California. But you know who the EP is on this one?
Steven Spielberg.
Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
Yeah.
Really?
So, I don't know, maybe. Now we start getting into things that I'm going to start getting pissed about. I know you didn't like this show, but this was one of my favorite shows, Charmed.
Yeah.
Charmed is coming back. The reboot is set in the present. And according to the CW, quote, this fierce, funny, feminist reboot of the original series centers on three sisters in a college town who discover they are witches. Between vanquishing supernatural demons, tearing down the patriarchy, and maintaining family bonds, a witch's work is never done. And it's going to... The only one they have... Well, they have two people cast so far. Melanie Diaz will play Mel, a passionate, outspoken activist who loses her way in the wake of a family tragedy. No other information is known about the remaining sisters, so they haven't cast them yet. They did cast her boyfriend. I don't remember who it was.
Well, see, I never watched Charmed to begin with. So I don't know the show. So.
Well, it's the three sisters, and I'm happy with that.
I know the plot, but I mean, I just didn't... it's not that I never wanted to. It's just I never got to it. So
you really should watch Charmed. It's a good series, and it was 2 through 5 or 6, I think, and then bits and 7, I think, when the guy who played the bad guy in the Fantastic Four, what's his name?
Yeah.
In
the first,
I want to say Vince, but that's a name.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he had that TV show there with.
Nip Tuck. He was in Nip Tuck.
Right.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
okay, I can't think of his name. It escapes me right now. But when he was on it, it was really good. I mean, it was, and he's a really good actor.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so it was really good. But that, I don't know, that's a show that's really close to me. And what bothers me, if you want to take a show from the 50s, maybe, because, it's been so long, but Charmed was in the 90s, and that's not that long ago.
Well, that's the thing. We've talked about this before. Like Lost in Space.
I'm coming up with that one.
They keep saying they're coming out with that. Okay, great. How about what the hell was that other one? Journey to the Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
That was another Irwin Allen thing. There's something you could do, or Land of the Lost, or the one with where they're little. They're little and everything's huge.
They're little and everything's huge. Oh,
what the hell was the name of that show?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? That one?
No. It was a 60s show.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Land of the Giants.
Land of the Giants.
Giants.
You have Gilligan's Island. You have all of these ones that, they're crying, do a remake. It's been so long,
Right. Especially the black and white ones.
But to go back and do Charmed, which is just, 20 years, that's stupid.
Yeah, that's what I just think it's too soon for Charmed. But...
And Miami Vice, when they put that movie out, they wrecked it.
Oh, yeah, the movie was...
it was a train wreck.
Yeah. Well, they made a Munsters movie, too, but it never made it to air.
Yeah.
But anyways, so here's the one. This is now where I'm going to get mad. The Greatest American Hero.
They're bringing that one back, too?
Yes. Oh. Next year, it's going to be on ABC. Inspired by the 1980s TV show of the same name, the reimagining of The Greatest American Hero centers around Mira, played by New Girl series co-star Hannah Simone, a 30-year-old woman who loves tequila and karaoke and has spent her life searching and failing to find meaning, much to the chagrin of her traditional Indian family. An inexplicable event occurs that will change the course of Mira's life forever. She is entrusted with a supersuit to protect the planet. Mira may have finally found a purpose, but the world has never been in more unreliable hands. Shoniqua Shande has been added to the sitcom's cast as Tanya Nichols, the office manager and resident gossip girl where Mira works. The upcoming reboot is an all-female take on the original show, which aired from 1981 to 1983.
Well, it's the same thing with Lost in Space. They're making Dr. Smith a woman.
That's you're jumping the gun.
Well, I know, but I'm tired
of it.
It's
like Ghostbusters.
Battlestar Galactica. You turn Starbuck into a female. What is wrong with this? I understand, you want to bring in, we were so prejudiced years ago, so you want to bring in more African Americans and more women and everything and things. But come up with an original series for that. Don't take a remake.
Right. Give it a new name, something else.
Yeah, do something completely different, but don't take an original idea that we all grew up on,
right?
And pull this crap.
Well, because I don't. It's not that you're a male or a female or black or white or Hispanic or whatever. It changes the dynamics of the premise of the show. You can't take. First of all, it's a half-hour comedy. And I know that The Greatest American Hero was comedic. I laughed at it, but it was...
That was an hour, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an hour drama. It wasn't a comedy. It had levity in it, but it wasn't a comedy. Now they're making a sitcom out of it. I'm not in favor of that. And I'm also... when you change, especially the gender, I'm sorry, it still affects the way people interact with other people. And now you're making... okay, they did The Greatest American Heroine. Did you ever... You're not a Greatest American Hero fan, are you?
I watched it once in a while, but no, not
Well, it was
really.
only 3 seasons on ABC. Kind of like 2.5, but it was 3 seasons, so it was 3 years on ABC. And it had William Catt as the Greatest American Hero and Robert Culp as the FBI agent, which I thought he did a fantastic, fantastic job as. And it was the yin and the yang. And it was literally the yin and the yang of the show. And you have to have that, one in one direction and one in the other. And now they're taking this girl and they're making the so-called other yang, the FBI agent, this gossip girl who she works with. I just don't see how this is going to work.
It's not. ABC has a track record of failing. Just like
Fox.
Well, Fox. They don't fail. They just cancel everything.
Yeah. Well, originally this was going to be Fox, and it was going to be 2 black guys.
Jesus.
But it never made it. So now ABC has picked it up, and they've, like I said, they've already cast one of the girls, and it's going to be next year.
CBS has all the success because
all right.
They're very smart about what they do.
Good segue. Let's move on to CBS. Do you know what they're redoing?
No.
Magnum P.I.
Well, you got to figure if they did SWAT and they did Hawaii Five-0 and they did MacGyver, that was coming.
They're also doing Cagney and Lacey.
Oh, jeez.
But here, Magnum P.I. The Magnum P.I. pilot with Justin Lin is set to direct. The reboot follows Thomas Magnum, played by Jay Hernandez, a decorated ex-Navy SEAL who, upon returning from Afghanistan, repurposes his military skills to become a private investigator. With the help from fellow vets Theodore T.C. Calvin and Orville Rick Wright, as well as that disavowed former MI6 agent Juliet Higgins. So we're taking Higgins and making him a girl.
A girl, yeah.
Magnum takes on the case no one else will, helping solve those when no one else can. Hernandez recently co-starred in the hit feature Suicide Squad, Bad Moms, and the sequel to A Bad Mom's Christmas, along with Netflix Bright. He's also recurred on the ABC series Scandal. All right. Higgins, although it was a minor role that Higgins... You did watch Magnum, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Although Higgins was a minor role, I mean, I think he was in just about every episode, but he wasn't the star. I mean, he had occasional episode that would be his, but
he was an important character.
He was the father figure. And he always took care of Magnum, and they were always back in our minds. Well, did he really own that estate?
He did. He was.
The writer who was. I
can't remember his name.
Robin.
Robin.
Yeah,
but he was going under a fake name and acting as a butler.
Right, and but he always had that stern father figure to help Higgins out.
Right,
and Again, it's dynamics. So I know that Higgins wasn't an integral part of that, but it was enough a part where you're changing the dynamics.
Well, look what they did with Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that was bad. That was just a bad movie.
Yeah, but it's just horrible.
Yeah, but it could have been a good movie. It could have been. I don't have a problem with 3 girls being Ghostbusters.
No, but if they had followed the formula of the first one, they're not making it into a farce.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's my problem with The Greatest American Hero. They're making it into this farce, this half-hour comedy. So I'm not sure about that one. Supposedly it's got a great cast for Magnum, but I don't know. All right, so I saved the best one for last. This one really pissing me off. Lost in Space. Set 30 years in the future, colonization in space is now a reality, and the Robinson family is among the tested and selected to make the new life for themselves in a better world. But when the new colonists find themselves abruptly torn off course en route to their new home, they must forge new alliances and work together to survive in a dangerous alien environment. Light years from the original destination. Stranded along with the Robinsons are two outsiders who find themselves thrown together by circumstances and a mutual knack for deception. The charismatic Dr. Smith, played by Parker Posey, is a master manipulator with an inscrutable endgame. And the roguish but charming Don West is a highly skilled blue-collar contractor who had no intention of joining the colony, let alone crash landing on a lost planet. No robot will be in this venture of Lost in Space. The series premieres April 13th on Netflix. Mina Sundwall stars as Penny Robinson. Max Jenkins will be Will Robinson, which they did a good job on him. Molly Parker will be Maureen Robinson. Parker Posey, as I said, will be Dr. Smith. Taylor Russell is Judy Robinson. Ignacio Cerricio will be Don West. And Toby Stevens will be John Robinson. Okay.
And that's what I think about that.
So, of all the most anticipated shows that we've talked about, you and I, and wanted, a nice series to come along, they finally get Lost in Space. And again, with the dynamics things, now you've changed everything. I mean, everything. Because
Dr. Smith and the robot were the show.
And Will. That was it. That was it. And I agree, the last season was a bit over the top with the campiness. They were trying to... You have to understand the times.
At first, they were trying to be a very serious show.
Yeah, they were. And they did a good job at that.
But then they were losing out to...
Batman.
Yeah,
Batman. And they were trying to be more like Batman because Batman was beating him in the time slot.
But the second season, they crashed on that planet, and they never left.
Yeah.
They spent the entire season... And and there was some stupid episodes. That one with the dragon and the knight. And, I mean, never mind Carrot Man. I mean, but there's a lot of them that were bad.
How can you? I mean, this is like taking Mr. Spock away from Star Trek. Live long and prosper. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Danger.
All right. How do you take the robot out of this equation?
Well, that the actor that did that, he's dead now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, both of them are. The voice and the little guy that was in it.
What little guy?
The little guy that was in the suit.
Oh, I mean, inside the robot? Yeah, but I know, but they managed to get him for the
movie. Yeah,
for the movie, but he expired.
But I don't know. This was Lost in Space. Of all the shows that you're going to muck up, this one is completely against the original in every shape, manner, and form. Even if you take... all right. If you're not a Lost in Space buff, the very first episode, Dr. Smith he was supposed to go away. He wasn't supposed to stay for the series. All right? But what happened is the audience loved him, and so they kept him on. All right, but if you remember the very first episode, he wasn't quite as campy
he was evil.
Yeah, and he
was always dressed in that little military suit.
Yeah, he was an Air Force medical doctor, and he was a colonel, I believe, was his rank,
right? When they crash landed on that planet, there was this big, some winter storm coming in, and they had to go south.
Yeah, right. I remember that.
He refused to go. It was one of the first 3 or 4 episodes. Yeah. It was like a 3-parter, but he refused to go. He stayed back at Jupiter too, and the rest of the clan went.
Right.
And I liked it. I liked where they were going with it, but then it got campy and
well, it did. Well, again, you have to look at the times of what was happening around it. Yeah. If you look at it now, you think, well, why did they go this route? Well, there's usually an explanation why, and that's why.
Yeah, it was Star Trek. Star Trek was running right next to them, and they didn't camp out.
Well, no, not so much. But you got to admit, the third season of Star Trek was not as well as it should have been either. I mean, come on, Spock's brain.
Well, they ran out of good story.
I mean, the when they took the Enterprise and they made it into a little dangling thing in that magic episode where remember the magicians turned the Enterprise into a frozen block of
No, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, it was witches and stuff, and they had magic, and they controlled the Enterprise. And
don't remember it.
Yeah, that one was pushing it too. But it was the '60s. I mean, that's what happened. But come on, guys. First off, let's try to be original. But if you're going to rip off a show, and I don't know. Why do we have to change it so much? Just the fact that we can change it?
Why?
Call it a different show.
Why can't we write new shows anymore? We were pumping out shows for years and years and years and years, and all of a sudden now everything has to be a remake.
Because they're doing well. Because now we're at that age group where we're watching shows that we grew up on. So they've got a built-in audience, a built-in history they can tag off of. It doesn't take as much work. But just like Battlestar Galactica.
They trash that.
I liked the new Battlestar Galactica, but it shouldn't have been called Battlestar Galactica because they changed so much of it. I mean, they changed the entire premise.
The beginning episodes were very good until you started getting into finding out that everybody was a Cylon.
Yeah, everybody's a Cylon.
It was like, this is so stupid.
The whole and again, they changed the dynamics between Starbuck and Apollo. There was a dynamic going on there, and they made a boy and a girl, and you changed it. And I know they want to make everything better and different and update it. But I actually liked in fact, one of the things that was the first series to do this was when
they also changed Boomer. Boomer was an African American.
That's right. Yeah. When they did an outside shot of a fight outside in space, the sound was very muted and low. I love that because that's what it would be. Yeah, I thought they did a good job, and they made the ship, all banged up, and it wasn't perfect, and the flight deck had scratches on it, and it was what you would think that ship would look like.
And the Cylon Raiders were actually Cylons.
Yeah, that always did bother me. Is why would you put a machine to fly a machine? The machine would fly itself. You wouldn't need a Cylon inside to fly a Cylon Raider.
There was some good points, but the writing got very, very bad.
But change it though. Don't call it Battlestar Galactica. That's my whole point, is you're changing this show so much, it's not Battlestar Galactica anymore. Call it something else. Change the new ship, and I don't know. Battle Amongst the Stars. I don't care what you want to call it, but make it a different show. And then I know people can say, oh, they ripped off Battlestar Galactica. Fine, great. Let's say they ripped off Battlestar Galactica, but at least they didn't ruin it for us because we have that image of what it's supposed to be. And they took the most coolest, best uniforms ever on any TV show ever, no matter what decade, and just threw them out the door.
Those were the best. I remember you could buy those. You could buy those jackets in the hell was that magazine you used to get? Starlog, yeah.
Yeah,
it was $79. I always wanted one, but I couldn't afford it.
Anyways. So that's Lost in Space, April 13th on Netflix. Of course, I'm going to watch it, but I don't know. I'm hoping I'm wrong and that it's going to be good, but I just can't see it. I can't see any of these shows doing well. I really can't. All right, I'm going to move on to something different. Toys. Growing up, what was your favorite toy? And it could be any age group that you want to pick. Mine, funny, we just talked about it, and I know we've talked about it on the show, was Lost in Space. I had the Jupiter 2. The frickin' thing was like 2 feet. It was huge. It was a huge Jupiter 2 ship.
I wanted it, but our family couldn't afford it. That was my favorite, and then $6 Million Man. I had all the action figures. I had his Oscar Goldman's office with a desk. I had a spaceship for Steve Austin. Growing up, those were my favorite toys that I played with. The one that I can remember the most was that Evel Knievel that you wound up.
Oh yeah, you wound up and you put a stick in it, right? And you pulled the.
It had a crank on it, and then all of a sudden you let it go, and it would take off the landing pad.
Yeah, and jump. Yeah,
you could jump things and stuff. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Google Evel Knievel, folks, if you don't know who that is. I thought it was a ripcord. You pulled a ripcord.
Well, they had those too.
Yeah, I think I had that one.
There was a bunch of different lines of Evel Knievel stuff because he was popular back then. But but that one that I'm talking about was for actually jumping and making ramps and stuff. I mean, other than that, I don't really remember much of my toys.
Yeah.
I was more of a, buy me a plastic M16 or something. Let me go out in the woods and play army with my friends. And
you can't do that now.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. just fantasy, or I'd go up to my buddy and we'd play Lost in Space. We'd pretend we were on Jupiter.
Oh, we had forts, and we did a lot of pretend, lot of pretend stuff.
But I wasn't really big into toys.
Yeah. No, those are mine. I like those.
My brother, though, on the other hand, this is a funny story. He was out in the driveway, and he used to love those little plastic soldiers.
Yeah, the little green soldiers.
Yeah, and he got his grandma.
Army men.
Yeah, he got his grandma. His grandmother out there with him, and she's on her hands and knees, and he's setting them all up. And he must have had like 200-300 of them, and they spent like 2 hours getting them all set up. And she goes, "What are you going to do now?" He goes against a big boulder. He goes, "I'm Godzilla." That's breaking them all, and she just busted into tears. He was an evil kid.
So, what happened to your Evel Knievel?
I don't remember.
I don't remember what happened to mine either.
No, your mother was on the show.
Yeah, I know.
She sold it.
Yeah, she sold it, in tag sale. But if you had them, they'd be worth some money.
Oh, you bet your ass.
So we're going to talk about some of the toys that have been around and what they're worth. Most of these are from the 80s and 90s. There are a few from the early 60s, but most of them are from the 80s and 90s, which, given the 90s, that a toy is worth a lot of money only 20 years later is saying something. But a Furby from 1998, you know what that's worth now?
No.
$900.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Mario Kart 64 Nintendo cartridge, $2,500.
Wow.
Hit clips with cartridges. Do you know what that is? I bought those for my kids. Actually, they might have some lying around somewhere. They're little teeny keychains, the size of a keychain, and one little cartridge you would put in it had a song on it, and it would play. So they were hit clips. $100 a pop.
Wow.
Pokemon cards from the 90s, worth a lot of money. If you have a Raichu card, it's worth $10,000.
Wow.
This one I did have, and I did like this toy, the original Light Bright. Did you have Light Bright?
Yeah,
Light Bright, making things with light.
I did have a Light Bright.
Yeah, 1967 that premiered. If you got one of those, in a box, of course, $350.
Wow.
Happy Meal toys, which I wouldn't think would be worth anything, range from $90 to $300. The Disney line gets the most. Apparently, there are a lot of Disney Happy Meal toys. G.I. Joe from 1964. What you think?
$500.
$10,000.
Holy moly.
The G.I. Joe Missile Command Center. Take a guess.
$5,000.
$17,500. Optimus Prime Transformer from 1984. I think I might have had one of those. $2,000. Original Easy Bake Oven, $300. Tamagotchi. Those were those, you may not know those. Again, I bought these for my kids. They're little handheld, very small virtual pets where you would feed it once a day. Yeah. It's a black and white screen. Those are $300 a pop. The original Super Soaker Water Gun, $600. How about a Star Wars Lego Millennium Falcon? What you think?
$15,000.
Very close. $12,000. $12,000. Polly Pockets. Again, I had girls. You didn't, but these are little small toys that fit into this big pocketbook type of thing. Polly Pockets, $450. Nintendo Game Boy Color, $1,700. An original Sega Genesis, not as much as I thought it would be, $1,200. And also the same lines, the original Nintendo NES, $1,300. I thought those would go for a lot more. He-Man, did you have one of these growing up, a He-Man?
No.
$1,200. Those are from 1982. Skeletor, $1,650. American Girl, the Molly doll. Again, I know you don't know what those are.
I know what the American Girl is.
Okay.
Karen collected those.
All right. Well, maybe she's got one of these. If she has the Molly doll, it's worth $5,000.
Remind me of that later.
So listen to the podcast. Those were so expensive that my kids, I bought knockoffs, and I printed American Girl stuff to go with it so it would look like they had American Girls. But they were just too expensive to buy.
So you lied to your children.
I lied to them. They know it. I lied to them. Garbage Pail Kids trading cards. Well, the Garbage Patch Kids trading cards range from $400 to $4,000.
I have one somewhere around here because I bought it on eBay.
You should look at it. All right, here's one for you. First edition Barbie doll.
Oh, that's worth some big bucks.
What do you think?
20 grand.
You're almost right on the money. 23,000. Good job. Teddy Ruxpin.
Well, I remember Teddy.
$500. A Talk Boy, which is the recorder that you see in Home Alone 2, how he's talking into it, the cassette recorder. Yep. Talk Boys are going for $150. Original Cabbage Patch Kids, $2,500. Viewmaster slide sets. Remember those?
Oh, yeah, I had one of those.
Not the Viewmaster, but the slide sets go for $430.
I got the Lost in Space ones.
Do you? Well,
I think they're upstairs too.
Well, they're probably worth a lot of money. All right,
that and Emergency. Remember that show?
The show, yeah, Emergency, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's in there too.
Randolph Mantooth.
Yep.
All right, a 1978 Luke Skywalker action figure.
How much?
$25,000.
Holy crap! I have one of those.
Do you? From Kenner? The Kenner ones?
Oh, the big ones?
No, those small. They're a little small. Yeah.
I had the whole set.
If it's still in the package, you took it out of the package. That's the problem.
I'm a kid. I was playing with them.
Yeah. Well, not $25,000 if you took it out of the package, but you might get some money for it. A royal blue peanut elephant Beanie Baby. Yes, Beanie Babies are still making money. $5,000 for a Beanie Baby. An original Pez dispenser. Those are all the original ones are going for some money. But if you happen to have the 1982 Astronaut B Pez dispenser, $32,000.
But that's all fine and dandy. But you got to have somebody who's willing to fork over that.
Right, someone's got to pay for it. Yeah, well, they're selling them at auctions.
Jeez.
Not on eBay. You got to sell them on an auction. You're not going to get that on eBay. All right, and the last two, I saved the very best for last. The original Monopoly game from 1933. Take a guess. All the pieces now.
$45,000.
$146,500.
Moly.
Okay. Now, this one kind of isn't a toy, but I threw it in there because it kind of goes along the same thing. A 1932 Action Comic #1. How much?
That's worth some bucks.
How much do you think? Be extravagant. How much do you think?
$125,000.
Try $3.2 million.
Holy crap! I'll bet he has one too.
Yeah, $3.2 million.
That's for the very, very first.
Yeah, the very first Action Comics. Obviously, it's got to be in mint condition to get 3.2.
He puts them all in plastic.
Sleeves. Yeah.
I got to tell him that. $3.2 million.
$3.2 million. Yep.
Wow.
It was sold at Sotheby's. $3.2 million. So, go look in your attics. Go look in your basements, folks. You got some toys lying around. You could have some spending money. And as always, if you want to spread that this way, I'm willing to take some of that if you want, But
Karen gave me remember the steel lunch boxes we had in the 70s?
Oh, yeah.
She gave me a Jaws one that has the thermos and everything.
With the thermos and everything?
And you would think that'd be worth some money.
Were a lot of them made? Is that why?
I don't know. Just they're $20.
Well, some of them are. I mean, I know I had a $6 Million Man one. I had a Lost in Space one.
But I figured, of all things, Jaws, that was one of the biggest movies of the 70s.
Yeah.
That would be worth something, but nothing.
Depends on how they made. Depends how many they made, though. That's why.
Yeah.
Of what's still around, if they're still around. So, yeah. All right, that's going to do it for TVs and toys. We'll get back to that at another time with some more updates. But right now, we're going to take a commercial break, and we will be right back after I hula my hoop.
What is recycling? Recycling helps save the environment. Without recycling, we wouldn't be where we are today. Our world would be full of pollution in the air and things that would not make the earth a pleasant place to live. Reusing products that can be recycled helps keep a clean environment. It takes 95% less energy to recycle aluminum than it does to make it from raw materials. It is very important to keep our world a healthy place, so benefit that blue bin.
Wit and charm DJs Dennis and Sonny have. FountainOfThought.com, website you go. Episodes new every Friday at 7.
Welcome back, everyone. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor or advertising on our show, please drop us an email at talkfot@gmail.com or give us a call at 413-612-8037. I'm sure we have a package that will work for you.
The moment you've been waiting for is finally here. Yes, true or false headlines.
All right, everyone. True or False Headlines is being sponsored by the Ludlow Lions Club. Do you want to help those in need in your neighborhood? Volunteer to help today by visiting ludlowlions.org or by calling 754-900-ROAR. All right, how this works is I will read two headlines. One is true, one is false. These are actual crime headlines, and you will try to determine which is which. All right, Mr. Rain, dead man's parrot is key witness in murder, or dead man's dog follows shooter 500 miles and alerts authorities.
Second one is true.
That is false. That was an episode of Lassie. I'm sorry. No.
I know I saw it somewhere.
A Michigan woman is accused of killing her husband, and the prosecutor is turning to the dead man's parrot to help put her behind bars. Glenna Durham was charged last Thursday in connection with the murder of her husband, Martin, at their Ensley Township home. Authorities said Martin was shot 5 times, including once in the head. Glenna also sustained a shotgun wound to her head. At first, police believed an intruder was to blame, but Glenna became a suspect after investigators found a handgun in the home, as well as an apparent suicide note allegedly written by her to her ex-husband and children. Kristen Keller is convinced his beloved African gray parrot Bud saw the whole tragic event. Keller inherited the bird after the murder and was shocked by what came out of its mouth. Quote, 2 weeks after the incident, Bud started going into rants I couldn't explain, she told Fox 17. Screaming, yelling, and always ending with, don't fucking shoot. I believe with all my heart those are pretty close to the last words of Marty. Video does exist of Bud saying, don't fucking shoot. And prosecutor Robert Springston hasn't ruled out using it in court. But first he has to determine if anything the bird says is actually admissible. It's an interesting novelty, and it's been a great opportunity for me to learn more about African parrots, he told the Detroit Free Press. It is something we're going to be looking at to determine if it's reliable and able to use it, or if it's information we need to prosecute this case. So there you go. Be careful what you say around your bird. Probably want a cracker. All right, here's the next one. Dumbest criminal of the year caught, or dumbest criminal escapes dumbest police officer.
Second one is true. Oh, jeez. 2 for 2 today.
Yeah. Police Chief David Splain states that Jason Dante Hayes, 17, has earned consideration for the dubious honor of Dumbest Criminal of the Year. It all started when Hayes allegedly broke into a home and woke up a 70-year-old woman by tapping her on the shoulder with a gun. Hayes demanded money from the woman, whom he knew because he had once lived in a rental property she owns. When she said there wasn't any money in the house, Hayes made her drive him to a cash ATM machine where he demanded she withdraw $2,000 or be killed. The machine only allowed the woman to take out $450, so Hayes made the victim drive back to her home, wake up her husband, and bring him into the kitchen. There, Hayes allegedly told the woman to meet him at a shopping center park the following day at 9 a.m. with an additional $1,500. He said she would recognize him because he would be wearing the exact same clothes. Hayes told the victims not to call the police, but you know what? They did anyways. So when he arrived at the parking lot shortly after the designated meeting time, officers were ready and waiting for him. Officers found $363 in cash on Hayes and a gold Timex watch that belonged to the victim, police said. Hayes has been charged as an adult with kidnapping, robbery, aggravated assault, and other crimes. He's being held on bail of $200,000. Dumbass.
Double dumbass on you!
All right, is your pool looking like your future a little murky? Then let No Worries for You. Professional pool service. Handle all your pool needs. Serving Orange, Osceola, and Polk counties in Florida. Clear your mind by clearing your pool. Give them a call today at 407-953-7926. All right, how this works is Sonny and I are going to volley movie sound clips at each other and attempt to stump one another and win food. We'll have 3 attempts to do this with 1 pass and 1 clue option. At the end of every month, the loser of this game will buy the winner lunch as well as a lucky listener. And at the end of the year, we'll do the same, but for dinner. You can play along by entering our contest at fountainofthought.com, and you too could win lunch or a dinner gift card. For details and registrations, once again, please visit our website at fountainofthought.com. All right, so for the month so far, we both stand at 8. And for the year, I have 1 on you, so it's 2-1 for the year. All right, who's going first, big guy?
You.
All right, the category is action.
I'll bitch slap you back to Africa. Oh, you will? Yeah, come on, let me see that. Come on, I want to see you do that. God damn it, come on. You don't know who you're messing with, man. You don't know who you're messing with, do you? Huh? I'll bite your damn nose off, right? Yeah. Come on.
Pass.
Straight for the pass, huh? It's Rush Hour 2.
Yeah.
All right, comedy.
You install the clapper? No, but catch a jingle, isn't it? Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off. The clapper.
I have no idea.
That's, you no idea?
No.
Nothing? Bruce Almighty?
Never saw it.
Never saw Bruce Almighty?
Oh, Bruce Almighty. Yeah. I saw it once.
Okay.
Don't retain some movies.
Your turn.
Your topic is comedy.
Comedy.
Do you have a bra to match that? Something in leather or rubber or barbed wire?
Weird Science. All right. We're going to stick with comedy.
And the truth shall set you free.
Again.
And the truth shall set you free.
Liar, liar.
Very good. Yes.
Okay, your next one is action.
I know exactly what you're up to, and quite frankly, you're going to need my help. Remember, if it hadn't been for Q Branch, you'd have been dead long ago.
License to Kill.
How would you even know that?
Am I good?
I hate you.
All right, here's your last one.
You're a clean freak. You care much too much about your outward appearance.
Can I have a clue, a topic first?
I'm sorry. Comedy.
You're a clean freak. You care much too much about your outward appearance. Your left nipple is a 1/4 inch higher than your right nipple, and when you were a little boy, you were afraid of Gumby.
Who are you?
I'm God.
Bruce Almighty. No?
Evan Almighty.
Oh, you prick.
Love it. Bring on my last one. Ardy mateys.
Horror.
We are all counting on you to take us home this year. Now go have some fun.
I have no clue, so I'm going to pass on that one.
Okay.
Could you play? What was it?
Halloween 2.
Oh, that nothing in there sounded familiar.
I know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good speech.
Nice and short.
Leaves more time for drinking. Break out the ale! These men are thirsty!
One more time, please.
Good speech.
Nice and short.
Leaves more time for drinking. Break out the ale! These men are thirsty!
I need to narrow it down. I'll take a clue, please.
Fantasy.
Oh, come on.
Well, there's not much else I can say. Middle Ages? Fantasy, Middle Ages,
I don't know which one to pick, though. Can I possibly hear it a third time?
Yes.
Good speech.
Nice and short.
Leaves more time for drinking. Break out the ale! These men are thirsty!
I absolutely hated them. I know it's a Lord of the Rings movie. I'm going to go with, was it Twin Towers? Is that for the Twin Towers?
You just absolutely suck, and you're ruining my entire day. You were supposed to say something like The Hobbit.
Sorry, I couldn't oblige. All right, that would be 3 for me and 1 for you.
It's time to dig deep. That only means one thing. It's time for questions from my side.
All right, this is being sponsored by Mr. Bill's Boot and Shoe Repair in Pantego, Texas. That's just outside of Arlington. Tell Mr. Bill you heard this ad and receive a 20% discount on any shoe repair. Find them online at mrbills.net, where they'll save your soul and gladly die for you. All right, this is where you, the audience, come into play. You can send us your question. It can be anything or everything, just like our podcast. Each week, we will select 3 random questions to read and answer live on the air. So,
shut up, you big sack of dog vomit.
Is that Rugrats?
I don't know.
It sounds like Rugrats. All right. First question is Tex-Mex or just Tex?
And my answer would be, what?
Well, I don't think it really much matters. Tex-Mex, in other words, Texican-Mexican food or just Mexican food. There's 2 different types of
foods. I'm like, what the hell is this supposed to mean?
I'll take either. Tex-Mex or Mex doesn't matter. I actually like both of them.
It's all the same to me.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Put some hot sauce on it and
yeah,
shovel it in.
There you go. All right, next one. Would either of you ever run for president? Come on, serious questions only, people. Would we? No, we don't have millions of dollars to run for president.
Yeah, but if we did, I wouldn't. But God would.
I would.
Yeah, he has a boner for just being the health inspector.
To
being president, that would be a super boner.
Super, yeah. Well, being president would be cool.
I'd be your running mate.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you got shot, then I could just walk into the office.
You could just take over?
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think so.
Neither would I.
All right. And plus, no one would vote for me. I already lost an election once. I couldn't lose it again. It's too much. It just hurts so much. It just hurts. What movie would you like to see made into a TV series?
Star Trek.
Wow. I could think you could go so many ways with that. You could do like a Next Generation one. You could do like a Space Station one. You could be like Lost in the Delta Quadrant one. You could do like a prequel one. God, there's just so many things you could do with that.
I know.
You could do a cartoon even with that.
You should write in. Those are some good ideas.
Yeah, I know, huh?
Yeah.
Those are some good ideas.
No, I would say I think would make a good TV show, or would have made a good TV show, is Back to the Future. We could have gone in different destinations.
Yeah, you could go different times. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. I concur. That's a good idea.
You concur?
I concur.
So that's the definitive answer?
Yes, that would be the definitive answer. That's a good answer. Yeah, that would make a good TV show.
Yep.
Traveling to different times. Now, what would you do? Would you be like Quantum Leap, setting things that are...
Well, you'd have to correct things, because every time they touched something and screwed something up, they'd have to go...
So they just keep going back, fixing their mistakes until they got it right?
That, or just turn the whole thing into a... I don't know. But there's a lot of ways you could go with it, but it's just an open thing. You just blast off into some different time zone and fix something or pick something up, or I don't know. I just thought it would have been a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I agree. All right, before we get into your pet peeve, I do have some more Trumpisms this week. So Trumpism number 1 from Twitter, May 2013. Sorry, losers and haters, but my IQ is one of the highest, and you all know it. Please don't feel so stupid or insecure. It's not your fault.
He said that?
Yeah. I love this.
That's nice.
This is like something I would say. I love it.
Oh, of course it is.
This is my favorite. That's probably my favorite Trump quote of all time. This is from The Apprentice season 14, 2015. He tried to outthink me, and nobody outthinks me. Once again, like that quote. This is from a YouTube video posted in 2015. They're remaking Indiana Jones without Harrison Ford. You can't do that. And now they're making Ghostbusters with only women. What's going on? I just had to throw that one in there because of our topic. You know,
should have said that earlier.
Yeah, well, it wasn't part of that segment. All right, here's my last Trumpism. This is from Twitter, October 2015. Wacky Glenn Beck, who always seems to be crying worse than John Boehner, speaks badly of me only because I refuse to do his show. A real nut job. All right, Donald, we are not refusing you to do our show. We will speak, and I believe we do speak highly of you, so please come on our show, and you won't be disappointed.
Can you imagine that?
Donald Trump on our show? You can phone it in. I'd love to have Donald Trump on our show. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Sonny's pet peeve
of the week.
You know what's been bugging me all week is you ever have that thing when you get a song stuck in your head and it just plays over and over and over and over and it just doesn't stop?
Yes.
Drives me nuts. Nuts.
What song is stuck in your head?
Different ones. It just, all of a sudden the song will get stuck there and it'll play over and over and over. And it's usually not even a song that I really cared about. Like this last one was Glad All Over. I think it was...
Glad All Over?
Yeah, it was some song from the 60s. And then, what the hell was the other one? People Everywhere Gotta Be Free. The Rascals.
Yeah.
These aren't songs I listen to, but just I don't know where the hell I heard them.
TV, probably a commercial somewhere. That happens a lot.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm watching TV and it pops up, yeah.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah, well, that's what they're supposed to do, so... All right, any final thoughts there? Oh, great one.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up again because I keep seeing, little news clips here and there on the internet or on TV about that little shit down in Florida that shot up the school. And I think we should invest in some airline tickets and go down and kick the living shit out of that big-eared Dumbo freak.
We'd end up in jail.
You know what? For how long?
Oh, no.
It might be worth it.
Well, are we just beating him up or are we actually expiring him?
No, just beat the shit out of him.
Beat him up? How are we going to get at him?
I know.
Yeah.
Probably just love to. I just look at that ugly, big-eared freak and I just like to grab him by his ears and punch him right in the face.
All right, on that note, leave your opinion, Donald Trump, or your thoughts on our listener line, or have someone else do it, by the way. Don, if you want to, have one of your people call my people, that's fine. They can do that at 413-612-8037. Reminding everyone to subscribe to our podcast via your listening preference. And don't forget to visit our website at fountainofthought.com for a contest and much more. And remember, everyone, be a fountain, not a drain.
Why a spoon? Why not an axe? Because it's dull, you twit. It'll hurt more.
So, this all seems horrible.
The pain.
Hello.
Here I come to save the day.
Holy Testicle Tuesday.
Enjoy your
extra big-ass fries.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.